What's up, guys? It's Levi. Hey, I am excited that you are tuning in today because we are going to do another exercise that I do a lot in the arena. So in the wintertime, when you are working in the arena, if you are, this is good stuff to work on. So I am super pumped to show you this exercise. So the one I'm working on today is I consider more advanced. So if you've watched any of my other videos, the one where I work on the hips, pushing the hips around, I had 3 steps to that one. This is kind of the next step of that exercise, where we're going to push the hips to the inside. So I'm going to recap the first 3 steps that I did from the other video. And if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it, so that way we can start right from the beginning and then add this exercise into it. And it's a really fun exercise. It's going to help you for lead departures and all that good stuff, plus like getting your horse's hips back end up underneath them, and it collects them up. It's a good collection exercise. I love it. So let's get right to it. I'm going to show you the first 3 steps that I did in the other video real quick before I move on to the step 4 for today's video. So if you remember right, if you've seen that video, you've seen where I stand and I push the hips around. If everything goes good, your horse's inside leg should be digging a hole. And push that around, push them hips around, push them hips around. Now, that's step 1. When you get that down, go into step 2 is do that at a walk and push his hips out. So, and if your horse doesn't know this, real quick, make sure for like a snaffle bit, I got a shank bit on Bam because he's a broke show horse. So he can handle this stuff. If your horse has never done it, make sure you have a very light bit on, like a snaffle bit, because that's more like a side pull, if you will, with no shanks on it. The shanks can tend to make it a little harder, if you will. So I'd encourage you, if your horse doesn't know it, be very careful on what bit you're using. So, but anyway, you got that step 1 pushing around. Step 2 is doing it on the go, where I tip that face to the inside and I'm walking. And I push them hips out, just like that. And if you notice, now I'm walking. I'm pushing my horse out. And then I'm going to do the same thing trotting. I'm going to do the very same thing trotting. And I pick him up into the trot. And I pick up that inside rein and push them hips out. And I want to stay trotting. Push them around. Beautiful. That's my 3 steps. So then, once my horse can do all of that very good, it's time to move on to what I want to show you today. So real quick on Bam, he's my show horse. It's actually not mine, but a good friend of ours. But he's the horse that I'm showing in the ranch horse shows, what have you. And so he like knows all this stuff. Like he's been through it. So I wanted him so I can really show you the finished product of it. So, but yeah, Bam's a 9-year-old, I believe. I think he's 9 this year. He's a 2014 stud. So, and we are also offering out his stud services. So if you're at all interested, keep him in mind. You can find him on our Facebook page, if you will, and catch up that way. So let's get right to which would be the step 4 of this exercise. Now, what's going to be different? I'm going to keep that face tipped in and push the hips in. So if you noticed, we pushed his hips. You notice how we're pushing him out. I did that at the walk and the trot. And we're going to the left. If you know what we're doing, we're going left. So now, because I'm pushing his hips to the right, so now I'm going to walk to the right and start pushing his hips to the inside. Very important stuff. So what your reins are going to do up here, and you're going to see that in another video where, from the bending exercise, make sure you watch that video as well, where the bending exercise where we got control of the front end. We can hold that front end over. So now we hold that front end straight and we can push them hips in. I'll show you again. And make sure you do this at a walk. Hold his front end straight and push them hips in and keep his front end walking in a straight line. Kind of lollygagging here. I'll just keep pushing. Very nice. Push them hips, tons of control. I'm going to come right towards the camera so you can really see it. So what my goal is, that I keep his head and his front feet walking towards you. And I'm going to push the hips to the right. So that means his hips are going to be pushing that way. That's the stuff I'm looking for. So Hold his front end straight with your reins, whatever's proper, and move your hands slow. So I want to come right towards you. Very nice. Push them hips to the inside, nice and quiet. Excellent. Now, let me explain what my hands and feet are doing, because this positioning is very important. So I'm going to get my hands here to where I can hold his front end straight. Whatever my reins, I'm going to lock that up. If I need to pull his front end that way, do so. If I need to pull him in, do so, but move slow. Inside leg opens up, my outside leg goes on, and I push them hips to the inside. Beautiful. Okay? Move slow, make sure it's exaggerated so your horse understands it. So, I want to be able to do that exercise walking, trotting, and loping. Like I said, it really sets you up for your lead departures and for a good, successful lead departure. And it looks pretty because your horse understands it. You have keyed him in on it. So, but I love it. Love this exercise. The first time I've actually seen a person riding their horse like that, they were loping sideways with this exercise. They're pushing the hips to the inside, and my jaw about dropped to the ground. And I was like, someday I want to do that. And when I realized, after I started doing all this stuff, I'm like, shoot, I was halfway there. All I got to do is finish out the exercise, because I had hip control. I just hadn't went into step 4 and went farther. I had all the step 1, step 2, and step 3 down, but I didn't know how to move on to step 4. So once I learned that, took enough lessons, finally learned it, and it's an amazing feeling. I love that feeling. So, and I encourage you to really go for this stuff. And remember, walking first, really get that feel down. And like I said, tons of control. So let's get to it. We're going to do a little more walking. I want to do it away so you can kind of see it, or towards you. I hold that front end straight. And what I do, I look at something. I got the barrels down here, these blue barrels, and I'm walking towards these blue barrels with that hip coming to the inside. Beautiful. Excellent. Always remember that. Them hips coming to the inside. Hold his front end straight. Remember what the positioning is going to look like. Front end straight, and just bring them hips to the inside a little bit. Excellent. And again, this exercise, if you've ever wondered how a flying lead change is executed, this is half of the exercise right here. When you got that hip control, you push them to the inside, you switch, you get that lead change. It's excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So that's how all that stuff is, that control, hip control. So, back at it. All right, I'm going to work on trotting now. So I'm going to work on just trotting around here. Get out going first, because now we've got step 4 done. We go into step 5. So we're going to trot. Remember, get them steps down. And if you have to write this stuff down, do so. So I really want to make sure that we get it step by step. And get that plan down. I want a good plan in your head. What I always say, I don't want you to just do it because I told you. I want you to do it because you know what you're doing. Head straight, push them hips in, keep the trot going. Excellent job. Like I said, you're going to have to really help your horse right in the beginning, because they ain't going to know what this stuff means. Push them hips to the inside. Keep trotting. So here you choke down a little bit. That's all right. Push them hips. You can just really push him around everywhere. Tons of control. Very nice. Remember, this is step 5. And write this stuff down if you can't remember it. Push them hips in and just continue doing it. And don't just do it one time. This is where, as humans, we make a huge mistake with this. We do it one time and then we quit doing it. We go way too long. Like, instead of going 10 feet and do it again, we go like 30 feet, and our horse tends to forget when we go that long. So a lot of times when I'm practicing this stuff, my horse is handling it, I let him go for about 5 steps and then I do it again. Remember, if you can't see this stuff, have somebody watching, or if you're not far enough along in your level of riding, And maybe you don't have the feel. That's okay too. Get help. Have somebody else start it and maybe you can finish it. I highly recommend that stuff. It's not fair that the horse, when your level isn't up to what we're looking for. Keep pushing on him. Very nice. And like I said, go out 5 steps and do it again. 5 steps and do it again. Really get your horse used to it so your horse is not afraid of your exercises. And we do it, and we do it, and we do it, and then pretty soon, this is just a normal, everyday thing. And with all these exercises we do, it's mental for our horses. They have to get over that mental thought process. Because this stuff, you never see a horse doing this stuff out in the pasture, meaning it is not natural. So boy, when we can get our horse to do this stuff, that means they really trust us, they're honoring it, and that's what we're looking for. You're just going to have a better mindset all around on your horse. All right, so we got that step 3, got him really nice and loose. He's staying consistent on the trot, or not step 3, I'm sorry, step 5. We go into step 6, and step 6, lope. We want the same idea. So, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about on step 6. I'll do it away from you so you can see it. When we push them hips to the inside, we prep for that lead departure. Prep for that lead departure. And then when we're ready, we take off and go. Very nice. I'm going to lope him around, make sure he's good, and then I'm going to go ahead and start asking for the exercise. Remember, this is step 6 because we're loping now. Let him get a circle here. And I got him collected on his face. I got a little bit of contact on that face to really, so I push them hips in. Really making sure he wants to push them hips to the inside. Very nice. And keep the forward motion. Sometimes he even wants to shut down a little bit. Got to keep riding and pushing. Teaching him what I'm looking for. Riding and pushing. Get him coming to the inside. Push him in, push him in. And I can just push him around. Push him around. Good. Let him come down a little bit. Very nice. I love that we can just push them hips. No matter what I do, he's just there to help me and honor the pressure. There to help and honor. I like that. Pick up again, push them hips in. And if you've known, I've only been working on the right side. Now, Bam knows both sides. But I don't want you to switch sides if your horse doesn't know it. I want you to stay working on one side and get one side good before you switch it up. There's no need to switch it up when one side is halfway and then switch to the other side. I want one side really good and then switch it up, do the other side, and build off that way. So I'd say about 3 sessions with one side works really good for me. 3 sessions of working, and that kind of really gets them used to the exercise. And that's about what I want. So this time I will do it down here coming at you. Loping, I'm going to do that lead, the takeoff, the lead departure, and you kind of see how it looks from the front. I'll come about right here somewhere. So really pay close attention. I'll do it nice and slow so you can kind of see it. My hands are nice and steady up here. I got his hips coming to the inside. Front end going straight. Ready for that lead departure when I give him the cue and kiss. So here we go. And let him take off. Very nice. Just get him stepping up into it. We'll push him to the inside here. front end straight, and then once I get really better and better, I'll push his whole body sideways, and I'll just lope sideways. We can do push and push, and this is definitely not a horse's favorite exercise because it's harder. And we just push them around, push them to the inside. Like I said, they have to work for it. And again, this stuff is not natural. You never see a horse doing this, loping sideways to the next patch of grass. So this is not normal for them. And when we can teach them to do this, boy, I tell you what, you just really got a partner. Good. Let him come back down. Excellent job. Okay, I'm going to recap one more time. You remember the other steps I did with the other video. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and then step 4 is more of the advanced exercise. Tip the face to the inside. Always remember that. Tip it in and push them hips to the inside. Keep the front end going straight. Remember that positioning of your hands. You're going to do whatever it takes to keep that front end going straight. And if you watch, I'll set it up so the camera can see it. If I pull the reins harder to this way, you'll see that front end going to the outside. If I pull them harder to the inside, you see that front end coming to the inside. So it's our job to have steady hands here to guide that front end, to show him what we're looking for. To show him what we're looking for. Steady, quiet hands. You should not have quick movement. When it's eye-catching up here, it's going to feel eye-catching from his point of view. The feel. Excellent. So when it's eye-catching from a human standpoint, it's going to feel weird to your horse. So again, if you don't have that feel, maybe your level isn't quite that far, that's okay. Don't get bummed out about it. Have somebody watch, whatever works for you, or have somebody start it, and then you take over. But whatever it is, maybe, like I said, maybe you need another set of eyes of like, yep, you did it. That's good. So somebody to tell you, maybe you don't have to feel yet, but as things get better and better, you start getting that feel down and be able to do it yourself. So I love doing this stuff. It's a great feeling. Like I have a blast with it. So, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll show you a quick dismount with Bam. We've been playing with him as well, and get him, see if he wants to take a break here. Makes it pretty easy to get off if you want to, or if you want to mount up like that so you don't have far to go. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you share it with a friend. Feel free to do that, and we're also taking questions. If you do have a question, feel free to email us at beachyhorsemanship@yahoo.com. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a video. Thank you for watching.